Hello everyone, and welcome to today's live stream, where I've been very busy, but I've been able to get a few things done. I've created a pull request for adding the scene time node into the shader editor for final parity between geometry nodes, the compositor, and the shader editor. Now, in the old days, as in yesterday, for me at the very least, we would have to use the driver version using #frame, which was less than ideal. There was also the view layer attribute version, which, to be honest, I forgot how where the data lies for this. But that wouldn't update in cycles as well, which I'll get to in a second. It wouldn't update correctly. It was so close to working, but not quite. It would work in Eevee, though. But in the current version that I have right here, it has been painful, and I'm pretty sure it's not done correctly. But it updates in both, and it's okay. It's actually somewhat okay. Let me make sure the stream is... Okay, it is public, good. But yes, the goal is I'll need probably a lot of pointers from the devs on this. But the good news is I got the node in. It half works. So that's the good news. That is the good news. The bad news is there's still a long way to go. But it should be possible at the very least. The lack of this node has annoyed me for several years. So if I could get into Blender 5.2, I will be happy if I don't get anything else into 5.2. Although I should give a few little updates on the other stuff I've been working on in the little bit of time that I have. The Olympic import node, I'm honestly not sure if I should continue that, because the collection import things, there are now importers for collections. Now, I'm not sure, I don't think they actually work yet, maybe besides USDs. I think this is just like prep for it. It's an experimental option. By the way, everything I'm showing today is in experimental branches. It is not an official Blender. We'll see if it makes it. I hope it does, but I do not know. Anyway. But yeah, with the collection importers, it'll probably be better than what a dedicated geometry node could ever do, because it just gets the objects into there. I think it would be better if geometry nodes just references collection importers than having a base node in there. But I'm not sure. It would be simpler to just have a USD collection import and then just import that into there, and I won't need to deal with any of the parenting issues with instances. So I might not have to look into that, which will save me a lot of time, which is, as I've mentioned so many times before, so precious for me nowadays. But yeah, I still want to look into adding in the generic attributes for the Olympic import, because that would apply to probably this as well, because that's very, very needed from things I can't go into. It's very needed. But it would be quite a hassle to get working properly, because, let me just yap for a bit. You all love the yapping, that's why you're here probably. With the way the Olympic importer works currently, the point clouds, there was a PR to implement like floats, 2D vectors, 3D vectors, and so on for point clouds only, with some conversion functions and all that to convert from like the USD orientations and yada yada yada. But if I were to try to implement that for curves, meshes, and all that, some of that would have to be put into a generic file so that it could just be placed into there and be distributed to everything else. So it would take a lot of work, but I hope it does work. If I can get it to work. So there's that. What other PRs do I've been making too many PRs, but it's just set up for when I actually have time to implement them. Let's see, what other things? The instance reference index node. That one is so simple. If there are no roadblocks, that one is basically done. Fingers crossed. For the import image node, that one was requested by one of the community developers, so I took a whack at it, but it turns out that one was a lot more complex than I originally thought, which I should have anticipated, but then again, my I try it first, and then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It might work, but I would just need a lot more, I would need more time to look into it, which again, I don't have. The data block name node, that one has dependency graph issues, so I'll need to look into that. The attribute list node, that one is basically done. I should be showing my PR list. It's fine. That one is basically done. It just needs review. And then, oh, the bundle signatures. That one is on hold because I just straight up don't know how to do it. And from what I've heard, there might not even be infrastructure for that, unfortunately. And then what other stuff is there? No, I guess that's the... So I'd say half of it, 75% of the PRs are in a good place. And the other ones either I can't do, I probably shouldn't do, or it'll just take a bit more time and maybe asking around to implement them. So, well, that's going good. And that's my job report for the day. Does hashtag frame not work as well? It does. It just is not ideal. Let me put on my PR face for a second. If you copy this node, it does not copy. You can copy the driver, but that's inconvenience. It does not automatically update when you update the frames per second if you want to get the scene time in seconds. And also, just having this node at 4 parity with the other editors, I would, if I knew what I needed to do, I would have done this over a year ago, if it were possible. But yeah, and apparently I've heard from some community developers that this is slow because of all the things everything it depends on, because it is a driver. So apparently, if I do this right, it'll be a lot faster than the alternative here, and maybe faster than here. But also with the view layer version, with cycles, there are dependency issues because cycles, from what I've seen, cycles is a lot more complex when it comes to dependencies like this. And it annoys me greatly. But it should be okay. Alright, well, that is it for that part of the stream. If you can't tell from working on that node, I am a little bit frazzled. Frazzled? What? What's that word? But let's go into the sample sound frequencies node, which you may wonder, you may have noticed it has a different name. I just checked if there was a new version of the PR right before I took a swing at it. Oh, it's playing actual sound. Not the node itself. Let's take a look at this. With that and that, we have this nice little project. I'll be muting the sound, just so that we don't hear repetitive sound again and again and again, because that would be, 1, very annoying, and 2, if I play copyrighted music, I would get 15 bajillion copyright strikes. But yeah, the node is looking quite good. I've also added in this test file, a nice little, just a example spectrogram so that we can see what's going on. As we can see, the node has gone through a few little changes. It's no longer an input node, it's now a conversion node, which means the color basically just changed. It has more options for the fast Fourier transform size. Apparently at lower frequencies there were some issues, which they are still working on, which is nice. And then there's just, all these. Apparently there's better interpolation between was it the time? Let me check real quick. There's better interpolation between frequencies and time. Okay. So before, the interpolation between all this was a bit rough from the example Jacques put in the PR, but now it should be nice and smooth and basically perfect, assuming that ooh! Yeah, no, that's different. And we can make it so that it glitches out. That's fun. It's amazing. I'm assuming that that was not supposed to happen. Wait, and then you could do that too. I wonder, is this... No, I need to stop thinking like, trying to use this for things it's not supposed to be used for. And then we have, the exponentials in the frequency bins node group, which is right here. Actually, wait, there's a 001 there. Lies. The existence, oh no, there isn't. It's just... Yeah, no, I forgot I changed that up. Maybe... With the frequency bins... maybe... I assume this is going to be a built-in node group to go along with this one, or maybe the whole thing will just be put together into a node group. Maybe better. Oh, and also the inputs. We can now select audio clips directly from here, which is nice. I noticed, maybe they fixed this, but in the... Was it the set material? We can now open materials, which I don't think... Let me just test this real quick. Yeah, you could... On the material path, you can now go and open a material, or it pops up the dialog for opening the file browser, which is, I don't think is supposed to occur with materials. So I think that's just a little bug that was put into there. At some point, a node group selector will be a node socket value. Node group selector will be a node socket value. Oh, wait, Mod, are you talking about, that closure demo you did, remember you had a little thing where you had a closure, but when it was a group input, it would be the input method? Mod, if you can get that into 5.2, I will be eternally grateful, because that will be incredible. Just think of all the possibilities. Waiting for closure subtypes. Very nice. I need to find the PR for that again. That will be quite cool. Quite cool. But yes. Though with all that, with all the ketchup out of the way, I want to try this setup with simulations because I've been doing a lot of this kind of stuff, just no simulations, just letting the spectrogram fly. But I've seen, I want to try either, what's it called, a Cellini plate? Whatever they had in Project Hail Mary, where it did like the, the frequency things when different sounds were played. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, but at the very least, I want to make it so that this spectrogram displaces particles that are simulated, and it'll look very fancy, using up a bajillion particles just to make my life more difficult. Just because. So I'm going to put our little test guy in there. We'll keep you around because you're cool. Put you over into there, so this will be test. Test. My dyslexia when it comes to typing has not improved. Nodes. And then set. We'll go and plop this camera into there. We'll delete you and we'll keep you there. Actually, no, we'll put all you into there as well. It is funny though, with the slight change in name to the node, every single file that I worked with this, which is probably like 3 or 4 files at this point, they've all broken, so I needed to re-add this into there. So just keep in mind, if you are playing around with this test branch, things may change and things may break. So don't get too attached to the projects or update them as they go along. That's probably the better thing. I've only been going for 13 minutes. It feels like I've been yapping for 30. Whew. Anyway, okay. So let's make a nice little thing. Also, let me go and turn off the curves or maybe reset them. Because I want to actually see the values. Sorry if there's background noise. Apparently someone decided it was a grand day to do yard work or something like that. But yes, okay, so we have this. This will be our reference object, and then we'll have a ton of points, so distribute points on faces. Now the question is, do I set up... I'm not going to do a manual simulation setup. I've done so many of those I don't want to do anymore. Set point radius. Let's go and make this a random value. This between 0 and 0.5. Do a nice little multiply. Oh, Mod, if you're still here, just to tell you my thought process when I was working on the scene time node. I've been referencing the camera nodes to just set up the... okay, side note. Setting up a shader node is so much more complex than a geometry node. I understand why new shader nodes are few and far between. It is painful, and I never want to do it again. Until I have to do it again. But I've been referencing both the camera node to just get the data set up. And then the movie clip thing, because that relies on the frame. But that causes a dependency to happen. which makes the thing occur and the other thing. And I need to stop thinking about that for now because it is just spend so much time on that. Hero. But the good news is with that kind of stuff, if you do it a lot, the pain only lasts for like a day or two. So that's the good news. The pain only lasts for a day or two. And then revisions will carry it on to the next whatever. Actually, this should be a principled BSDF. We'll just have the particles there, and then there will be a floor plane, but I will not do actual collisions. The collisions will just be... Oh no, wait, I do need actual collisions. Why? Alright, let's set up the simulation zone. So, simulation zone, which hopefully in the future, this will just be a node with a closure or two. We will see. Okay, so, let's see, sim, velocity step, yes. SDF collision. Oh, lovely. You love to see it. F. Now, these are node groups that I've made because I keep having to make them, and then I never want to make them again. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a mesh plane, make it gigantic. We'll put you into there. Let's remember to color these guys right here because that always helps me. And then, is this our... What are you? You're that, so we put you into there as well. Okay, so let's go and bring in the plane, plug it into there. And also, getting an SDF from a mesh, that would be quite nice to have that as a field. I know there's the VDB version, but yeah. We have that, and then that all gets handled. We don't need to use the outputs, and that's good. So that's like one of the visions I have for particle systems. Just have a node there, you just have one node and everything runs. Yes, so we have that, set that to relative. Now I just need to set the velocity. So we have our gravity. And then, oh, also inline sockets. I'm not even going to attempt that. That'll be probably very annoying for me to try to figure out. Vector math. Let's go and get that. So what I'm going to do is reference our sound visualizer right here. Maybe give it a random direction based on noise. Oh, also, all of these have file inputs as well. Ah, that is... Oh, no, wait, that's the sound opener. Okay, no, that shouldn't be there either. That should not be there. That's not just an opener for everything. That's the sound thing being drawn to every single input. That is funny. That is one of the most harmless but also funny bugs that I've come across. Sample nearest surface. Let's go and get the amp. That is the attribute that I had. So if we do this and then we vector math multiply, I just, how much should this be? This is delta time dependent, so I need to make it a large value, and we should see that absolutely nothing occurs. It is attached, right? Okay, no, so it is reading. The problem is that it's not moving. Because this places the guys down there, and then when they bounce, they don't do the correct thing. Yes. Yes, it is. Even though, like, actually, that is a very low value. Maybe because the amp is so low value. It doesn't overcome gravity. Oh, wait, I might need that to be off. Okay. It's probably very hard for you all to see what's going on. Let's decrease that by a lot. Anywhere. Anywhere whatsoever. Please. Oh, I wasn't playing it. Okay, there we go. So we can see some stuff is occurring, which is cool. Some simulation stuff. How high are they going? Not too high. Well, actually, no. Still. Change that to be 200. Now it's just barely visible. Let's set that to be 400. Need to add in some lights. Also, I'm going to hide the visualizer from there. But you might be able to see. Can you even? No, you cannot see that. There's no way you can see that on the stream. We have this guy right here. Let's add in a sun. Jittered shadows because you never want any kind of other shadows because of accuracy. Apparently this is bad for speed, which is funny because I have not... Well, it only makes the render time worse by like 30% from what I've seen, but probably in more demanding things it's a lot worse. Do 10. Yeah, no, that's laggy as hell now. You have that, but what is causing... Is up with... Evie, are you just... Yes, it is. Classic. Maybe I should go, yeah, maybe that helps. I know there was a PR about fast GI approximation being corrected in some instances, so it'll be cool to see that. But that to be... sorry if this isn't great for you viewing at home. Try to fix that. Let's go and do cavity, turn off outline, both. I like doing the new drop down for that. Alley and all that. I do want to try making it like clump a bit. I don't think that's the best. Okay. So for the sound visualizer, I'm going to make this so that's just one, so that this will go 1 second or past. You all cannot see that at all. I need to go in an instance based on the velocity. So instance. Oh, also mod, if I can ask you, instance on points. Would it be a good idea or a very bad idea to add in a different PR the FPS to the scene time node? Because I think that would be very good. And maybe would make it so that other dependencies don't need to occur. Because right now we can get the scene frames per second by getting that, and then doing that, which this should be 24, but that's a float value, which isn't the best. I don't know, that would be like after I get the node in and everything. If I get the node in, let's not oversell anything here. Okay, so we got that and that. Now I need the velocity named attribute. Wow, I'm off my game today. Just a little bit. I'm mostly there. Combine X, Y, Z, which since this is that, I need to divide by the frames per second or multiply by delta time. I'm just going to divide by the frames per second because that's what we have. Align, rotation to vector. Let's go and put you into there, put you into there, you into there. This is just so that we can get like pseudo motion blur running, even though it's not occurring. Why are you not working? Oh, right, because you and because you. There we go. So you, I need you at 0.001. There we go. So now, is this even facing the way? There we go. Okay, that's a little bit. Now, oh, it's lagging so much. How many instances do I have here? Let's go and check. So spreadsheets, 200. Yeah, that'll do it. My computer usually lags when I get 20,000 instances, so I'm really pushing it and trying to make it very difficult on myself. Now let's just have these as icospheres. Well, it will be a little bit better. There we go. That's a little bit better. Still not great. That material. Let's go and set you to be that material right there. Fine. These nodes are messy. Let me go and fix a little bit. There we go. Yeah, just a little bit cleaner. Put it into a frame and call it a day. So now I should be able to get both the velocity attribute and all that. Let me go and reduce that. I will probably just be using points for the rendering. But, oh wait, I can... Only in Eevee, I can apply the displacement to the points to make the motion blur appear. But, yeah, might be a good idea. Okay, it does appear. Shader editor, attribute velocity. Make that instancer event there. So now we can see all that is occurring. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Let's go and turn that down a bit. I want some lighting to happen. Only a little bit. Oh, even though that is quite cool. That could be the look in and of itself. Also, I'm just going to change a few things about this. So we have that and that. We need to add in a maximum, so that a vector math maximum, so that I'll choose maximum between the two values, effectively making a minimum, which means I can set that to be 0. Put that there, put that over there, put that over there, so that now it'll never be smaller than 0.01, which is good. Oh, yeah, that looks quite nice, if I do say so myself. Does it appear on the way down? It should. No, it is. Okay, good. It is. Let's set the apparent. Actually, should I use the radius? Just to make it a bit more procedural. Like. There we go. So just like do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do. And now I could use my logarithmic light fall off. LG light fall off. Again, I still don't know why this node works so well. I've just been using it for probably 4 years at this point. Just works well. Map range. And also we want to normalize. Normalize. Plug that into there, and there. So with all of this, set you to be step, set you to be like 0.25. Should, in theory. There we go. Nice. Get some very nice things going on there. I'm still... Why am I not seeing them on the way down? Absolute. Yep, that would do it. There we go. So now all that is happening. But I also want some noise so that these will be thrown in different directions, so they won't just be in the same place. All does look cool. Cool enough. Maybe let's switch this back to geometry and let's just use points on doing most of the work that I did in the past 10 minutes. Oh no, that works just fine as well. Much faster as well, so that's good. Motion blur is already on, so that's good. Let me set this to be 0.5. So yeah, I think that's actually good. That's good. That is good. Let's go and save this in its current state and then apply the wibbly wobbly to the sound right here. So I'm going to multiply our amplitude input right here. And then for this, how are we going to do this? Well, we will, wow. I must sound quite tired. I apologize, everyone. We'll need a noise texture based on the position in world space. 2 dimensions because, well, we could do a little bit more. That will only affect things if it's like that. Turn off normalize so that it'll displace in the positive and negative directions. And that's all like that. Set this to be like 100 or 200. Also, by the way, you can negate values just by pressing minus. Apparently people... Not too many people know about that, which I forget when I learned it, but it is quite useful. Ooh, okay, we're getting a little bit of stuff going on. Oh, wait, okay, wait, I'm actually cooking. I actually be cooking. So, the only other thing I need to do, okay, so I'm going to switch this up so that's normalized, so I math subtract, there we go. So that only these will be in the positive and negative, and the Z will always be up. Well, that actually looks quite cool. The only problem is that the points don't go back to where they're originally supposed to. Which I think I need to make a condition so that if their velocity is low enough, they'll try to go back. That sounds like a grand idea. Here we get the amplitude data. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. See, we are at 29. Wow, not even... Wait, we're at 30 minutes in 3, 2, 1, and 0. Not bad for 30 minutes, where half of that was just yapping, a lot of yapping. So this is just sim. There we go, just points. We do not need you. Never did. Then we just set that after the fact. We don't need that part this time. Let's see. Well, would you ever attempt to do assembling cubes again? I remember you did a stream a while back, but it looks like you privated it. Yeah, I privated all the old streams, almost all of them, just because a lot of them are no longer useful in their current state, or I'm not happy with my skill level demonstrated in those live streams, or to reduce bloat, or all the above. But something like that, I can't imagine myself doing in the future, though I think I would have to wait on the... Yeah, if the velocity is low, we need to add in some velocity to move it back to the original position. Need to store the original position, the rest position. Position. So I could foresee myself doing an effect like that in the future, but I think I would be waiting for like the grid-based rasterized nodes, which I believe I forget who is working on that. But that would allow for me to get points and their neighbors' values a lot easier than normally would, than what would normally be available. I need to take the distance from the rest position to the current position, multiply that by like delta time, then that should be good. So yeah, actually I think right now I could do an effect like that. Because since it's a voxelized grid, and the voxels would only move to the left, right, up, and down, I would be able to sample left, right, up, and down, and maybe have a closure to make that a lot simpler, or even just a node group. It may be... collisions are the most... Oh, wait, I could show the wire collision thing. That could be good to pad the runtime. So if that's like that, and that's there, I need to scale it up. Let's try it without any conditions first to see what happens. It's like that. Okay, we can see that it is not really working too well right there. Okay, it's trying. It's trying its best. Reform. Oh, you probably can't see anything still. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let's go and bump up the density by 3 times. Okay, that works. Ooh, that could work very well. You can also see a little bit of velocity going upward. Oh, they're sliding. They're sliding. But that's fine. Let's go and get the velocity so that if velocity, or if ishit is true, it'll try to move back. But we don't need that. I'll just say if the velocity, but no, if the velocity is high enough. No, we're just gonna store the ishit value, which, is it stored already? No, it is not. Ishit, let's make that a nice boolean. Store that, yeah. Wait, is it stored? Oh, that's before the capture attribute node was updated. Cool. Is hit at true, and then we just read if it's making contact with the surface below, it will try to move back to its original position. I think that's a good thing right there. We can just switch. Yeah, we don't need that to be a nice, gentle value. We just need to go and obliterate it. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Connect that into there, that into there. Plug you into there. It's all nice and good. That, and that. Put you into there. All that seems to be good. We should see, yep, they are trying to move back to their original positions. Let me go and make it twice the frame rate. Okay, so there, it'll take that much. Let's go and turn that up a lot more. Now, I will need to limit this value based on... Do I? Oh, no. Yep. I was a little afraid of them zooming back to their original position. Okay. Dang, these are so tiny. I need to make them bigger. Let's go and make them a little bit bigger. Set it to be 0.75. So now, a little bit better. But why do they constantly have an up value? Oh no, they don't have an up value. Or do they? They're bouncing. And yeah, that's because of that. There is a friction value. What if I made the bounce higher? Ow. That... Nope. Oh, that does look cool though. Be lower? Nope. It's because they're constantly going down, constantly hitting. Collisions are just so annoying to deal with. Hopefully, one day, they will be easier to work with. So yeah, with the velocity, yeah, we need to avoid that. So I need to make it so that there's a limiter where this can be no further than the actual distance. Or wait, no. Is it the end velocity? I'll try to go there, but if the actual distance between the two is less than a certain amount, if I need that to be the same per frame, and since that is a velocity, that gets delta timed again, I think. Or does it? Would just be 24 times 24? 20? Wow. Okay, so that would move it back into place one frame later. Which almost appears to happen. Or nope, it is having great trouble. They're doing that, okay. Maybe I just set the position and make it so that I don't need to worry about... Yeah, no, let's just do that. We're just going to set the position, completely ignore the velocity because I just can't be all too bothered at this time. Make it so that it'll be 0.75. Yeah, that'll be fine. I may try it again, but I just want to get a working version before anything else occurs. I could just go and do that and that, but I'm just going to plug that into there, eliminate you and you, just cap that there, just do that. Go and make sure it's set to offset, and... Oh, dang, was it inverted this whole... No, it wasn't. Okay, good. Wait, was it? That grid is looking a little bit bigger than it should. Nope, okay, that's fine. Okay, now when they hit, they try going back to their original position. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, because it's not affecting the actual position, that happened. Up. Okay, so that does look cool, but maybe not what I'm going for. And also... Yeah, I can't say I'm the... Let's see. I knew about that since last time I dealt with it, but I didn't check that for sure. Check it in the chats. Are you talking about the... Oh, I'll just check both. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, frame current, yep. Yep, I remember that. Yep, I remember that. I would have just made a node group that had both of those in there, but unfortunately, Cycles has the dependency update issue, which to be honest, it shouldn't. It should just update with that data automatically. I don't think it's a problem in the actual render, but just with view layer data regarding time, it just doesn't update all the time. An annoying quirk. Let's see. So yeah, I need to affect the velocity. So what's the problem here? It should be doing all of that, but the thing is it overshoots. So the closer it gets, I would have to override the velocity. Maybe that's what I need to do. I just need to override the velocity so that if it hits, it'll go and just set the velocity to go towards where it was, not a second further. But I still need to make it bounce. But is hit is set to true. If it's in the air, it's set to false. The moment it hits the ground, it's set to true, which would reset the velocity, making it so that, yeah, no. That's not a good idea either. So it just needs to be velocity. Let me go and save this in its current state so that I can always go back. Let's go and add to here. Yeah, we can just... Am I forgetting... We're taking in the... Or could you just use set velocity where I have the input velocity? Oh, yeah. I forgot I put in a way of overriding the velocity into this node group that... I made it, but it is still quite old. So here I can go and add in some drag, which this is not delta timed drag, which is why I put it there. But in this case, if there's a hit, I want it so that it'll try going back to its original position and maybe scale down the previous velocity by like half. So maybe something like that. So if there is a hit, we do that, we add that into there, and then it goes along its way. Pop that and that out, plug that back into there. I am scrambling my final brain cells. Not final. I should have a few more left over. Here we go. That's all good. Put this over to here. Make your node groups let me restart that. Make your node groups nice and tidy, or else I will come for you. I will find you, and I will make you organize your node groups, because I have dealt with so many disorganized node groups. Oh my god. Not too many, but please organize your node groups. Okay, so that's doing almost the exact opposite of what I want. Is it doing that? What is being added into there that's causing everything to go wacko? It's setting the velocity, which the velocity is being set. We're getting the previous velocity, which is perfectly fine. If we go and do all this, there should be no change in the previous stuff. Go and just do this. You can see that happen. So why the velocity? So just plugging this into there should be no change whatsoever. And there isn't. I just have a little bit of gravity. Nothing changes. Wait a minute. Why is it acting like there's some initial gravity? No, it's just the bounce. Okay. We have that, and that. So we have that. We just have you. Yeah, no, you work normal. Okay. Ooh, that actually looks very cool. Whoa. Gravity apparently is just no longer working, which I'm... Oh no, it's the friction. Okay, so what's the problem here? If there is... Oh no, it's because is hit is basically always true. Yep. If I do... Wait, why are you working now? Did I just have a little switch flipped there? And it was incorrect. So we can see that... Which ones are trying to get back? Okay, let's set this to be 24. Okay, it just needs to be a much higher value, okay. So there, just like that. They do wobble into place, which I'm not happy about. But here we are. Why do they wobble so much? And their velocity doesn't seem to be reset properly. When they hit here, their velocity should be halved, or at least delta time halved. No, halved regularly, because collisions do not rely on delta time. At least mine don't. We have that, and that. So why are you having a difficult time? Do I need to offset the position by the velocity? Is that what I need to do? I do need to divide that by the delta time. The portals. We need portals in here. Maybe it just needs to be that. It will move it there. Over the course of a second, but we don't have a second to deal with. So let's... I could try making it so that when they hit, a switch flips. That will only unflip when they go back to their target position, but that doesn't sound too fun. Does not sound fun at all. If there's a hit, maybe I just need to reset the velocity. No, many things I can try, but none of them are really appealing to me. Let's just reset the velocity entirely. Okay, so the problem is they're not always hitting. Let's go and actually debug that. Is hit. There we go. Let's go and check you. Okay, they're always hitting, except the ones that are flying up. There's no flickering as well. Which, what the heck is going on? Is it just that it should be resetting every single time? Am I missing something drastic? No, I'm not. Mind-numbingly complex logic switches, yay. To be honest, this isn't even too complex. My brain is just a bit fried from working on that node. If you want to see complex logic switches, look no further than Blender's shader editor. So is hit, that gets set to true. And then when it's set to true, velocity goes kaput. Nothing else happens. So let's go and do that so that nothing else happens. It doesn't even try going back. Oh. It's like they're bouncing. Wait, what? Okay. Is hit. I will debug this. When does that bounce? Oh, wait, I forgot something. Radius. There we go. Now all these points will actually use their radius. That's... now it's still running in real time. All these points now use their radius when they're being displaced. Or when they're colliding. Yeah, I put that in. Just the little things right there happen. They're still colliding. None of these guys. It's because the velocity gets set after the fact. Yeah. Maybe I just need to move it further down the line. So just put that into there. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Make it so that all future velocity stuff just gets yoinked when... So this should make it so that when... No, I can't do that because I need the display. Rewind once more. Yeah, no, this isn't... It's not a batch logic problem. I just thought this would have been fine. Because, like with that and that, it being set to 24, that should be okay. I don't get why it's wibbly wobbling. Maybe I just need to turn up the friction to almost 1. Even then, it's taking so long for it to go back. An abnormal amount of time. There, it's... Yeah, that does work, but it's vibrating. Like there's no tomorrow. Let's see. I'm just gonna work on this for a little bit longer because I've spent way too much time on it. Now, why does that seem to work? Why does that work? Okay, well, I'm not gonna question it. Maybe I do need to just... Maybe I need to use the, velocity to offset this position. Which I do need to scale it by delta time. Divide by delta time. Power would be way too powerful otherwise. So here, since it's doing that, this might just give us what we want. Seems to work better, I think. Maybe if I set it to 0. Why does that work? And in this case, it shouldn't. In this case, it should be just that occurs. Okay, that does no bounce back. Good. So it's that, and if this is set to 0.5, it should compensate correctly. Oh no, that works as well. Okay, so that's what was needed. I'm honestly a little bit surprised about that. So that's like that, that's like that. Scale that to be whatever we want. And that's the delta time. We need to multiply that by 1 divided by 24. Get that. Or no, let's go and scale that by 1 divided by 24. There we go. So that's our delta time, and that's all good. Okay. So now the effect. It's not done. It's close to done, I would say. I just need to make it look prettier. Let's go and also set up a nice camera for this effect. Control B. There we go. Oh. That's interesting. Oh wait, when... Had a new animation there. Huh. I don't know if the animations match when instantaneous changes happen like that. I think I remember something about this in a Blender Today live stream. So I know there's a way to disable it, but it's actually interesting having UI animations like that. Huh. Being distracted again. So now I just, whoa, okay. Cool. All right, maybe I'll turn the sound on so that we can actually hear what's going on. Let me turn off the music for the time being. Go and get this all up and running. Boom, boom. Okay, now this is what I was worried about. There is like no correlation between what's happening there and that. Okay. Or actually, wait a minute. I could still make this work. The problem... Wait. Yeah, no. The problem... No, I just need... Okay. Just need a geometry proximity, and then like 2... maybe not even a geometry proximity. No, I do need a geometry proximity. I just need 2 mesh lines. Or no, just 1 line of faces. Sorry, everyone, my brain is running too fast for even my mouth to speak. But yeah, I need to make a new sound visualizer. We'll put you into there. And then I'm going to duplicate the geometry node setup, which, oh, that doesn't reset everything. Nice. How'd they fix that? Okay. So I'm just going to get a line. 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 I'm just going right there. And I might need to turn this into a curve line because the UV maps are not stored because there's no stuff there. Oh, by the way, did you know that USDs do not have a concept of edges? I was very surprised when I learned that. I was very, very surprised. So we just have that we can subdivide. But actually, you know what? We're using the curve method. We can just go and divide all that. We don't need to worry about that in the slightest. Move you over to there. Mesh to curve. Let's go and turn the music back on because it's sounding a bit too quiet with just my voice. Bring you over to there, resample the curve. And instead of moving, let's see. Instead of moving the sound through space, we're going to be moving the curve through space, and that'll be aligned with the sound. So instead of getting this stuff, we'll be getting the position separating the X. That'll be our timeline. So moving stuff through space. I actually greatly prefer this to what we were doing previously, because it was just doing what I did before, but with a simulation. This is new territory. Different kind of effect. So with this, we need to go and let's set this to be like 100 or something along those lines, which means actually I could go and use the bin offset. The current index, what's... No, and I still need to, no, I'll just deal with that as I need to. So we go and store that, we need to move U through space. So set position, we're going to combine X, Y, Z. This sends it through the X, sends it through X space. We can see that moves along, it does that, and it still stores the data. Then we need to curve to mesh. Nope, curve to mesh, without UVs because we don't need that, and this just needs to be a curve line. We just need faces because we can't sample curves, even still. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Brilliant, brilliant. You can also set the speed here, but I'm not too worried about that. Do that, and that. So good. So that should now work. Oh no, it's not referencing the right object. And nope, we don't need to worry about that. We need to write that because the thing isn't there. Okay, give me a second, everyone. I'll write this one, yep. Can I plop that into there? Apparently not. That's a very funny little bug. Where's the thing? Okay, it's not sampling. Good. So what's the problem? This visualizer, it's curved to mesh, which is working as intended. So it has faces, it has the data. The X.01 to avoid any major issues there. Why? Is that not doing what I want? Let's go and check the data real quick. Let me go and also mute you for the time being again. And oh no, nothing's actually happening here. Yeah, it's the time data. Oh, there's no UV map. I knew that. I knew that and I did nothing about it. Map range. Or no, I could use the parameter factor. There we go. Now we should see, yep, values are updating, which means that now this should start updating as well. But the problem is that it's not based off the distance. So what do I do here? How do I make this part work? I was thinking originally geometry proximity, which could be good, But also I can just offset you to be like this. Yeah, that and then geometry proximity my way through everything else. Proximity. Like that, and then we have a nice multiply where if it is less than, if the distance is less than a certain amount, go and do that. So if it's less than 0.1, it'll go and do the thing. So now, okay. It moving at all. Okay. It's trying. It's really, really trying. But we can see it is working. Wait a minute. Oh, right, because of the thingy. Yep. Because of the radii right here. So I'm just gonna go and disable the radii right now. So it is working in theory. Let's just go and set that to be 0.1. No, it was working before. Maybe it's just not powerful enough. If it's less than that, then let's just make it shoot. Okay, good. It just needed a lot more velocity because, yeah, no, that makes sense. It's only hitting for like 1 frame instead of multiple. I just need this to... I could make this a little bit fancier. Maybe. I offset one part of the curve based on the time. Or no, I just need to move U beforehand. It would give us a bit of interpolation onto the time, which honestly isn't bad. Worried about that. So here, you can do that and that so that the value will interpolate, which means that this part should look a bit better. In theory, that part again. So actually, it turns out I do need curve to mesh UV. No, I don't. Why? No. I'm just going to use the y-axis, map range, call it a day. I need x or y between that and that. There we go. So now as that happens, that occurs. Okay. We just need that. And actually, I do not even need the return thing right here, which simplifies everything greatly. All right, set velocity needs to be on. No, raw. Was that why everything was glitching out earlier? I accidentally set that incorrectly? Oh no. Oh no, that sucks. Anyway. Okay, so we have that. Now all I need to do is have our nice plane here. Move you over to here and make it so that you stretch out into infinity so that we can properly see. Oh, it's lagging. We can see that interpolation is an issue that we'll need to deal with. Oh, good. Go back over to here. 0.5. Let's try that. So there we can see that, and that is happening. You know what? I hate to say it, but I think we need curve to mesh UV. Curve to mesh UV. Curve to mesh UV. There we go. Need that and that. That onto there. This is a specialized node group I have. This doesn't exist in default Blender. I wish it did, because it's just a, you know, just one more input, and then you have options for using the length there and there. It would have been so nice. But anyway. So I'm going to store the UV map. Yeah, I'm going to store it, so this will just be UV map. And then we're going to, or do we even... No, I'm going to store the UV map so that we can control the fall off without needing a geometry proximity. Although, we can... Sure, that is on the face corner domain, because that's where UV maps are actually stored. 2D vectors on the face corner domain. And then I could just have U and U, plug U into there, and then do that. That should work. Let's go and check that again. Nope, that does not work because I had the wrong axis. There we go. Okay. It's lagging a ton, but we expected that. All right. So we have that. Let me check the chat again. What's the effect you're trying to create? Displacing points while using sound. Right now, I have a little sound sampler that's moving through time. Oh, I should have been having it like this the whole time. That looks so much better. You can actually see what's occurring. I'm sorry, everyone. This stream is a little bit subpar, and I'm at an hour, and I haven't progressed too much since the 30-minute mark. Unfortunate. But we'll just deal with that. Not worst. I was already productive today. I got a good amount of the scene time node developed. There's still a long way to go. Okay, so for here, we don't need any of you anymore. Because we do not... I've spent too much time on that. I'm just going to go and keep that back over here. That's good. Instead of geometry proximity, I'm going to sample the UV map, which is a vector. Do we have 2D? No, just regular vectors. UV map, connect it into there. And with this, we can then fade the intensity of the effect. So separate X, Y, Z. I'm going to just be using the Y. So map range, but I'm going to use a ping pong. Like that, and then we can do that and that. So it's not a harsh cutoff. Probably be more expensive because we're sampling the mesh twice. Somewhat annoying. And then we have the visualizer moving through space. I don't really want to see that. But what we can see is that the fading is working. Good. Good, good, good. Doing that. Is it just not being thrown far enough? Let's do 4,000, just because we can. Really, 4,000 finally does what we want. This is more of the effect I was going for. Why does it... It just not look right. 5.2 already? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I know Blender... I haven't even done my, review of Blender 5.1. Which, I guess since I've been monitoring its development, most of it probably isn't needed. And other people do it better. I've had so much to do this past while. So much to do. But yeah, that works out well. I could, since we have a lot more freedom given the new version of this effect, I'm going to go and turn down the friction to 0.25 so that we can get more stuff going. Is it, oh no, it's lagging. That's not lagging the viewport. But yeah, stuff like that. That's cool. That's cool. Or do I normalize this instead of, like, not that kind of normalize, I mean the regular normalize. Which, to be honest, I probably should have done that to begin with. Because, yep, that's what I thought would happen. It's just giving a direction and letting the actual sound values drive it. So we have that. Let's go and bring this down by a bit. Because, it's just a bit too powerful. Now it's not powerful enough. 3. Let's go and do that. Get the shader editor. I'll go and set that to be like 1. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool as well. 0.5. Absolute explosion of colors. So grand. Too much. Wait, I'm normalizing. Why is that sending it into the stratosphere? It shouldn't be that much. I am the happiest with how that's... Maybe I just need to remove... No, if there's one I want to keep, it's the blue. We want to keep there. Ah, there we go. Okay. That's more like it. Now, I'm still unsure whether or not I want this to be like sand and all that. But I'm happy with just this for now. So if we do this... Yep, we just need so many points for this to be halfway decent. But I think that's good. Let me go and bake this, because I think... Oh, right, that's the other thing I wanted to try... Even though I think the chances of me being able to make this is so low, it's basically 0. The bake socket. I need that so bad. But, UI things, when dealing with Blender's code, the UI is something that I have not learned yet. So figuring that out would probably be very annoying. And also, I would have to make a new socket type, connect it into there, and somehow make it so that would show up in the modifier. That's a lot of very annoying things I don't think I would be able to do at all. That's all. Let's render that. What with the U, by the way? Uh-oh. Why is the motion blur not appearing? Nope. Animation. Let's go and bake that real quick. I could always slow down the... Could always make it so that the sampler moves faster. Or slower, depending on it, so that'll affect more particles over time. Oh, yep. That one might do numbers. There we go. It was worth it in the end. It was worth it in the... Uh-oh. It's a crash. Oh, okay, no, we're still good. Big socket. Uh-oh. Oh, no, it's because it auto-saved a ton of data from that. It looks like water. Oh, I actually like that a ton. Okay, let's go and see this with sound. Ton of data being stored here. Let's go and try it out. Okay, to make this work, how many points? Let's oh, 500,000. Yep. Honestly, this is pretty performant for 500,000 points. Even though it is baked. That's actually not too bad. So I think to make this work, I'm going to offset this back because... Nope. How do I make it so that it feels synced up? Because it... Nope. Right now... Alright, I'm going to... Offset source sound. Yeah, I could... I would just need to offset the time, but the problem here is that the velocity takes a while to kick in. Oh, actually, wait, where's the waveform? Waveform? Oh, the waveform's just so incredibly small. So if we take a look... Wow, that looks rather cool. If we take a look at this... Oh wait, I actually need the live... I need is the live spectrogram reaction. Yeah, it is you. It just has vision. That's why I didn't immediately recognize it. So, uh-oh. Let's bring you over to here. So these are synced up. So here, it is synced up, but the problem is... So here we can see that the main part there is synced up with this part here, and as we go along, it's like that. And actually... Yeah, we can see that all these are synced up. Problem is that it just takes a bit long. Oh, wait a minute. Uh, Nothing should be firing at this time, but it is. So something is incorrect, which I need to debug. Position, fortunately, it's easy to debug. I have a feeling that I know what's going on. I know what's going on. One is going in the positive direction when it should be the negative question mark. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yep. Yep. Uh, Something's wrong. Also, yeah, let's go and resample this a little bit so that we get... Maybe that was another thing. It just didn't have enough in-betweens. Wait. No, it is just straight up off. Wait. What's your problem? We're getting the position. It's directly translating to... Oh, it's auto-saving. Yeah, what is your problem? Oh yeah, no, it is very wrong. Okay. That moves moving in... Wow, I am so sorry, everyone. I'm tired. It just faces, second, that and that into there. It's almost acting as if this should be negative. This is moving in seconds. That should directly correlate to the seconds here, right? But it's not. Wow, okay. Because the thing, what? This is set to 0. I just resampled the absolute living hell out of it. Just not moving correctly? Seconds into there, and then that's happening. So in theory... No, wait, it is correct. Okay, so I just need you to be +5. Oh, I... Oh, no, wait, I know what's going on. Speed here. Okay, so the length here just needs to be the delta time. So I need to... I'm gonna make this automatic just because I can. Combine. X. So here... Oh. It's auto-saving, okay. Nope, wait, no. Delta time. Okay. That's okay, it works now. So I need it to only fire... Yeah, no, that is actually kind of unfortunate. I'm going to multiply it by like 2 or 3. That might be a bad idea. Just so that the velocity can affect it a bit more. Okay, and I'm going to set that to be 3. Be fine, that should be fine. I'm going to mute this, reveal you again, and delete you. Okay, that's why... Wait, I thought I fixed you. I know it is. Maybe I just need the start and the end to be... Okay, 1 divided by 24, and we'll do that in the negative direction so that hopefully the midpoint will be directly where I want it to be. I'll just put another sample or 2 in there. Maybe I'll make it even wider. I just need to make it so that it'll just be synced up. And then, of course, the lag will cause it to have issues as well. So that that stepping does not occur. Oh wait, no, that's on purpose. That's supposed to happen. Or is it? Nope, it's working as intended. Okay. I made it work so accurately that I can see the parts in between the frames. Okay. We'll just let it bake and then, well, actually, no, that's good enough for the bake. Yep, that works. Yep, that works well. Okay. We make it so that I can't see the floor so that we can see everything else. Okay. I think I'll also just change the amplitude reading a bit. I'll set it to be the square roots. And that should elevate the smaller values and dampen the larger ones. Though then again, and it'll probably be fine. Delete you. Just need square rooted instead of powered of 2, so that... I think that's good. No, I think it might be a little bit too much, so I might PowerPoint 7. Okay, and I just need to extend you by like 1 or 2 more seconds. Which means that we'll be going over 500,000 points, which means I'm going to turn down the density. And where is the reader? Wait. You're right there. Oh, okay, so we don't even need that part. Good, we can lessen that by a little bit more. Good. This is looking quite nice. I think we need a bit more power, and I might turn that back to just a regular square root. Much power. Let's go and set that to be 1000. I'm not getting the shape of the sound with this one. So 0.75, we'll set that to 0.2500. Okay, yeah, there we still get a bit of the shape. Looks good to me. Okay, let's send a bake. Do I even need to bake? I could just rent. Let's just go and bake it so that we can all see it together. In real time, I assume. But this was a good project. Oh, and it's also significantly faster because I'm assuming I reduced the point count from like 500,000 to... Ah, yes, 300,000, not bad. YouTube compression is gonna hate this. Okay, I think that's a bit too much power, so I'm going to lower it by 500. Just to take a little bit of the edge off. Let's go and do a rebake. This might be a dumb question, but if there was a bake socket, would it make sense for it to have a file path? Because bakes, if they're not inside the blend file, they do have a file path. So maybe that would be a good idea. But with me just talking out of my head here, it sounds like it would need a whole rework to the entire node, which I do not have the skills to do whatsoever. Reserve pitch display waveform. Oh, I want to try out some of the sound modifiers. I can't use the UI while that's going on. That makes complete and total sense. Now, I'm assuming that this won't affect the geonode side. It'll only affect what we hear. Yep. Let's make that 0.1. That works. And then the mix, we can make that louder. Yep. That works quite well. And the feedback. Or what's the difference between feedback and mix? The wet dry mix of the wet dry. What does that mean? That would be very annoying. But I'm assuming that's like the lower versus high values. And then that's the actual feedback. Hmm. It'd also be great if it was available in the modifier menu. Yes, that is oh, I actually like that. That's pretty cool. All right. I guess before I go for today, because the stream has gone for an hour and a half when it really should have taken, we should be like at 45 minutes right now. I got sidetracked so much. Let's also... Yeah, I need a visualizer going through showing the actual time. So I'll just have that part side by side. We'll duplicate you. And then we'll just have the same setup. Set position. Then we go and read the position. Combine X, Y, Z. There. We just get the position. Whoops. Separate X, Y, Z. Plug that into the time. There we go. And yeah, I'll just go and chop this out of here because it's very unnecessary. There we go. That's good. So, auto saving once again. That is good. That is... Oh, wait. Is the compositor even on? No, the compositor is on. I need to make this look better. Yeah. But right now, we only have glow. That's boring. We need more. We need more. So, when in doubt, you always add sunbeams. Of course. That does work, but I think I need to edit. There we go. I need to set that to be like -5. Oh, but that's... Oh, is that supposed to happen? Oh, no, it's for... Yeah, no, that is supposed to happen. Makes sense. And then I can jitter it. I do quite like that. Maybe a bit more like that and maybe turn the strength down. Nope. Oh, it looks like the laser scanner things. Oh, I actually love that. That's great. Okay, and then we can do another, let's see, streaks. It's perhaps a bit too much. Ooh, but that looks cool. Maybe color modulation, that won't really do all too much. Let's see, mixed dry means original, aka 0, and wet is the actual echo, so 100% only echo. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, okay, so the mix isn't over time. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That frame though, okay. Then I am a bit worried about motion blur, but no, that actually works very well. And then it seems like the sunbeams cut off at a little bit. So if I adjust this to be high. Ah, okay. That might be a bit much. Medium, low. So, oh, I wish that was actually a slider so I can choose how detailed it is. Because that's too much. That's pretty good. And that being oh no, I can really see the stuff there. So is the problem is that gets cut off there. Oh. Did her fix that? No, it does not. Okay. Why does that happen? That's a bug, right? That appear yeah, and that appears in the render too. That might just be in this build because I or is there something blocking it? Maybe there's something causing that to happen? I don't know. Switch it back to high. Oh no, it also happens there, which means that there's probably... Oh, wait. Yep, that aligns with that. Okay, okay. Yeah, nothing to worry about. It's just... It's reflecting. Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. For the size, we can still make that a lot. So if I were to, say, hue shift this, hue, saturation value, I'm not going to keep this, but just for... Could work very, very well. Shader editor, I am going to do something crazy here where I'm going to separate the hue, saturation, and value, separate the color, HSV, and I'm just going to remap it. Combine hue, saturation, okay. Map range, points there. So I'm just going to select the colors I want. From there, we can still get the entire velocity spectrum, I guess you could say. I'm just going to select the result. Wait, why is it not, Oh, did that just make it? Yeah, that made it a lot more saturated. So maybe I do want this version. That I can really just hone it in. That's just eliminating the X direction. Or no, I want the X direction. Hmm. Let's see now. And also fraction, so that doesn't glitch out when we go up. Auto-saving once again. Auto-saving. Oh, I need the music in the background because it just feels so dead without it. I apologize, everyone. There we go, the nice jazz in the background. And also let me turn off you for the time being. Oh, that not mute it. Okay. We have that. Let's go and change this up so that we can get some of the nice golden ones there. I do quite like that look. Oh, wait, I need a point info. I do have a random value. So I can offset things with that as well. Make parts a little bit brighter, a little bit darker, whatever I want. Like, you know, really just fry the living whatever out of it. Though with this, I'm going to set this to be a power node. And then, yeah, I'm just going to multiply the output. Range, so that I can get some really nice fireflies with this. So we have that, and then we can have the really bright ones, which are way too apparent. Proud of you? Oh, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. I'm so proud. Thank you. Thank you for being proud of me. I love having the chat on the side. It's great. No, I'm not sure if these... No, they're all... Them all being the same brightness, I think works well. The real thing will be if... Auto-saving again, storing a lot of data. Thing is... Here, let me just get rid of the power nodes so this to be like 0.8 and 0.9. So we need just some to be abnormally bright. No, that's just not really working, is it? Eh? Nope, not working. Oh well. We'll just use this to offset the hue by a little bit. Maybe the saturation, that's what needs. We just set that between that and that, so that to be 0 and that. We can just get ones that are a little... No. We replaced the hue with the random. Oh! That could work. That could work. We just have these into there. So instead of it being driven by the velocity whatsoever, which, to be honest, might not be the best idea. Do we want multicolored? Do we not want that? Then I think we need another fill glow to really tie it all together. I still want to try just a sand-like look for this. Let's bloom. We need strength to be... Oh, I forgot about that part, yeah. I think the glare might be a little bit too much right there, so let's go and turn that down. We just need a little bit of ambience. The triangles, 1, 5. Need to do that. We need to make the size really, really bright. Threshold, bring that down a lot. Wait, up, buddy. Auto-saving once again. So there's that. The first bounce, that's something I need to contend with. Or maybe I could just cut it there and then call it a day. And then I need to hide all the other stuff besides the main one. And some of those we can see still have some of their velocity doing stuff. I think I'll keep that in. That looks good. Yep. Properly assault the eyeballs with that. That is good, I'd say. Need to unmute that, which... I'm just not hearing the dun dun. Oh wait, maybe I'm not. Okay, where's the oh, you? Are you the one? Nope, you're not the one. Are you the one? Nope. You're not the one. There you are. Where is the dun though? What I'm worried about is that I accidentally clipped the sound values. I don't think I did. I set this to be... No, it's still there. Let's check if full range helps. Again, if this is set to be 10,000. A good amount of it actually gets clipped. Though, I think I did that on purpose. Oh, lagging again. I'm almost at an hour and 40 minutes. I think that's... No, I want to see... How much would we be missing out on? How much? Just a little bit. Those tones. So do I keep that? Oh, let's do it. We don't need you, we don't need you, we don't need you. But for you, we're gonna do that. Now, this will cause... I'm gonna save it in its current state. Taking a while to save? Okay, that makes me very, very nervous. How big the file path, the bake file is gonna be. Let's see. Apply zero divergence. I think that would be... I think that would be a bit overkill. I do have curl noise at my disposal, but I don't want to use it right now. I can't find the new node in the 5.2 alpha build I downloaded. This is an experimental build. Everything that I've shown today is in the experimental build. Sorry for missing that comment. That seemed to... Okay. We are seeing everything there. But I think it might be a bit too much. Maybe I'll set it to 1.5. That might be. And also, it's reversed on that side versus that side. The question is... I think base should be on that side, highs should be on that one, so I'm just going to go and reverse this guy right here. Yeah, let's set you to be 15000, and then you to be 1.50. Rebake. One more time. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this live stream up. It might be useful for some people, but I think I tripped over my own feet a bit more than I would like. I just haven't had time to prepare a lot of this. So much of my time has just been eaten by other very necessary things, but it has been eaten nonetheless. I think that's good. Okay, I'll go for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try the sand thing, and that'll be it for today. This will be just found sand. Found sand. And where's the actual reader? That's muted, so that's fine. So this will be sound bar. Yeah, sound bar. That's what it does. It's a sound, it's a bar, it does all that. Okay, compositor. Disable everything. So we have that, we have that. Where's the sun? Need the other plane, the ground plane. This will be floor. Good for now. Oh, and also, right, I have the sun there, which could be causing a bit of the... I should just make this another file. X that out. Let me go... Oh, I already have an HDRI in here. Oh, lovely. Let's see, so I'm going to raise this up by a bit. Oh, this looks like caustics. Which, you can do caustics with geometry nodes and points. So, how do I make this look good? So, if I do just the principled BSDF, turn that up. Maybe some subsurface scattering would suffice. Maybe it should be black. And then we make it, you know, a little bit reflective in the end here. But the displacement points aren't looking as good as I hope. Oh. Lagging because it's saving. How do I make this look actually good? A sandy color. And then I would need random point stuff. Change the specularity to mimic proper reflections and all that. So be like 3. Also multiply it by like 5 or something like that. Or should I? Because it gives the illusion. No, that's actually not working well. I need to change the normal and make that random. I need to hash, white noise, because we don't have a hash value node in here, which is perfectly fine. Integer, no, we do have integers in here, I think. Vector mat subtract. I should get the link to the build and put it in the chat. Here's a link to the PR if you want to play around with it. I should have put it in there to begin with, but alas. When I get tired, my vocabulary becomes much more out there, which is always fun. Let's go and get all that and that. What time is it? Oh, it's actually later than I would like. Right? Actually, for the specular, I can keep some of that. Maybe, yeah, let's have it more loose lines. No, I'm not getting the glints that I should be. I'm warping the normals by a lot. It should show. Because the sun is just so shallow? Or maybe it is working. Lagging again. Lovely. Thank you very much. Oh, maybe I need to... No, it should be fine. The random is getting white noised. White noised. Ended. Oh, I'll keep the stream up for a couple of days, but I think when the sound node gets merged, I'll probably have to call it. I'm going to save this as a separate version because I like the way it's going. Though, oh, it's gonna be so heavy. There we go. And for here, I'm going to make this black. Yeah, okay, that might work. So that we can really... Actually, no, I like that worse. I think the glowy version is better. But this isn't bad. Not bad. Then for the actual color here, I need contrast. That is what makes... No contrast. I like that for a nice mid-tone for that, and then yeah, keeping that nice and bright is preferable. That by like 2 or... I know, it's... Oh no. It returns. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Yep, it's not the first time this has happened. Corrupted memory? I don't know, it must mean that they're working on AV in the background. Yeah, that's a sign that I should call it for the day. Okay, let me switch to, whoops, wrong one. Let me go and delete the bake, save this in its current state. Go to the previous sim, which is baked and it's taking a while to load. Oh no, that scares me. So, fun project. Thank you all for watching. Fun little project. I might change a few things about it, like maybe making it a bit wider, match everything else. To fill the camera view. Oh my gosh. And all of that. But in summary, yep, I'm working on the scene time node for the shader editor. Hopefully, I can get that into 5.2. That would be amazing. I really, really hope I can get that in. And then the sound node stuff. Lots of fun. I want to make this wider. Or maybe, instead of that, I just make the camera a bit more zoomed in. Like that. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. And actually, instead of actually zooming in, bring this back. We do a bit of forced perspectives, or not forced perspective, but maybe set that to 60. Then we bring it in. Bit better. 70. Just trying to pull that stuff back so that it appears to be like less narrow as it goes up. You know, but we can't see everything else. So maybe what I had originally was good enough. Okay, maybe let me just bring it a little bit and forward a little bit. Oh, it's lagging again. I'll tweak it a little bit after the stream. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next time, and if you have any pointers on how to complete the scene time... I say that as a joke, but actually, if you do know any useful tips about that, feel free to DM me. I am open to suggestions because the dependencies for that kicked my rear for a good few hours. It's still not done. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.